And we're back. Amen, brother. And it's time to go and save Nico. From what I remember, I think you use this as a cup on this, but this is from memory.
The cone was ideal as a makeshift container.
And then you squash the root to get the juices out of it. Which, I'm probably doing all this, you probably go up there and have to find out. But the one advantage of playing this game before, I already know what to do, so I might as well do it and cut to the chase.
As the liquid was squeezed from the root, it collected in the cone.
So we got the remedy. Sounds kind of like a fun fair, that bit now. Let's climb there. Don't spill it, George. We haven't got any more doggy biscuits to trade.
Look, Hubert, the antidote.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give it to the girl, quickly.
Okay, we'll follow orders. We'll give it a...
Nico. Here, drink this.
Oh, George, it's horrible.
Just swallow it down.
Just swallow it down. It gets worse.
Rest now, darling. You'll need all your strength when we go after the other two stones.
Other stones? What other stones? What have you gotten me into now, George Stobart?
The patient is sounding more like her old self already.
That's pretty damn fast acting.
Nico recovered quickly from her fever.
Don't
To
forget
save time,
Benelin.
we decided to split up and look for each stone independently. I traced the pirate Ketch to a remote island in the Caribbean. With the fortune he'd amassed from piracy, he'd retired to a place that was later called Ketch's Landing.
I'd say it was a pretty sloppily animated plane. I know it's something that just flashed past the screen pretty quickly, but maybe a little niggles, but it's just something I noticed. Still like the game, like, I still have great memories of this game. Who's this guy?
The guy was doing something technical with his theodolite. At least, I guess he was. To me, it seemed like he was just looking through it.
I doubt he's going to let me look at this, is he? We'll have a
It
look.
looked like a set of plans.
Nah, we'll wait till he's looking through, because he might not take kindly to us peeking. That's if he's going to move, ever. Let's go over here first. Done anything? Let's have a look.
It was a net left to dry in the sunshine.
Didn't we do anything with it? I doubt it.
I didn't want a fishing net.
There's a sea here. Oh. There's a little boy here. There's a boat. I don't...
It was a seaworthy little craft, in bad need of a coat of paint, but spotlessly clean and maintained.
A
I
little,
didn't know the first thing about sailing a dinghy.
a little sea shanty as well there.
The kid looked about 11 or 12. He was fishing with the intense concentration of someone who had all the time in the world.
Let's go and talk to this little kid first, actually.
Hi, is this Ketch's Landing?
Yeah, man. You want to buy some fish?
Nah, I don't like fish. What's your name?
Rio. It means river. What about you?
George. It means,
George.
well, it's just a name.
That's a big smile. This is a happy kid.
Do you know anything about pirate treasure?
Man, that's all stories. There's no such thing as a real pirate treasure.
Right, what about you
No school
yourself?
today?
No, sir.
What about your education?
I can fish, sail, and swim. I've been looking after myself since I was 6, and I'm bilingual.
Aren't you a little overqualified for a beach bum?
Well, you know, there's a lot of competition.
That guy got a good West Indian accent, man. Was that Shakespeare? Why the hell are we talking to him about
Is
Shakespeare?
it true that Captain Ketch lived around here?
Or is it meant to be a pirate?
That's his house up on the hill. It's a museum now.
Yeah? That's exactly what I need. Thanks, kid.
You won't get inside, you know. The old ladies close it down.
Let's see if we can find
What
out
do you know
more.
about Captain Ketch?
Just what everybody knows around here. He was a pirate and get himself hung.
I got hung.
Who
I
are
thought he
these old
retired.
ladies you mentioned?
Miss Frost and Miss Mina Ketch.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Branson's doing.
The guy with the theodolite?
Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. They're going to regret it, you know. The man's a crook.
Right, we'll see you later, friend. I don't know, but from memory, I think that's where we'll use the worm. The tequila worm, I think, is something to be traded with him. Right, let's have a little... Oh, now I want to look for your thing. You decide to move over there, don't you? Let's have a little look at the plans.
I just had to sneak a look at those plans.
He's going to shout at me now.
Hey, get out of there.
You know, wherever I go, I hear those words. Paris, Syria, Ireland, or Spain. Makes no difference.
What do you think you're doing?
I was trying to show some interest in your project.
Well, let's have a look through this. Oh, we've got a sneak peek through this, even if he does tell us off. There's something shining on the end of that kind of like flagpole thing. But it's not really said anything about it. Right, well, let's talk to this guy and see what he has to say for himself. Mr. Shady Businessman. No, architect.
My name's George Stobart. You're a surveyor, right, Mr.
Bronson. And of course I'm a surveyor. Why the hell else would I have a theodolite?
I don't know, hobby maybe?
Yeah, right. What brings you here anyway?
I'm searching for an ancient Mayan artifact.
What is it? Some kind of jewel?
No, it's obsidian. A black stone with supposedly mystic powers.
You're nuts.
Well, there's not going to be much use asking about this, but we'll go ahead anyway.
This is similar to the stone I'm looking for.
What makes you think you'll find it here?
Because when the stones were stolen in the 17th century...
Hold it. The stones have been lost for 300 years?
Approximately.
And you're hoping to find them again? You're nuts. And why here?
A wise old Indian shaman told me he saw the stones in a vision.
Ha ha. That's rich. Listen, I got work to do, okay? Say, was that kid giving you trouble?
The Fisher boy? No, he was very polite.
Ha! He's a juvenile delinquent. I suppose he told you I was a crook.
No, I'll leave
Oh
it.
no, he's a good kid. He'd never say anything like that.
Sure he would, the little punk.
The little punk. I just thought why this guy sounds familiar, and it's because it's the guy who did the voice for Dwayne. I know obviously several actors do the same voices, the same on the first game, but I just realised then this is Dwayne. But then asshole Dwayne. Let's ask him about that.
Theodolite.
Surveying the old house. I got great plans for this place.
Oh yeah?
You bet. Take a look around. What do you see?
Paradise.
I see opportunity. This place is ripe for development.
I like it just the way it is.
And that's where we differ. You see, Mr. Stobart, I'm what you might call a man of vision. I see a great future for Ketch's Landing, and it all starts here, with that house.
How do you survey a house like that?
I've put a target reflector on the end of one of the flagpoles up there on the house. I sight on it from various locations through the theodolite, record the angles along the baseline, and triangulate them to give me the exact position of the target. Understand?
Why the end of the flagpole? Wouldn't it have been better on a corner of a wall or something?
Are you a surveyor?
No, my degree's in law.
Then shut up.
Well, I don't like this guy already.
Tell me about the two old ladies.
Who? The Ketch sisters. One of them's crazy as a coot, and the other will turn you to stone if you're not careful.
Can I take a look at your plans?
No.
No way. What interest would they be to you, anyhow?
I've always had a secret desire to be a surveyor.
You have?
Sure. I mean, you surveyors are just like the great explorers, aren't you? Henry the Navigator, Vasco da Gama, Chris Columbus. Maybe you don't sail uncharted seas or discover new continents, but you're okay in my book.
Horse shit. You just stay away from those plans, you hear?
He's even said the same word. He said that when the fertilizer didn't explode. Yeah. So he ain't gonna help us out. So we're gonna need some way of distracting him to have a look at the plans. And probably prove that guy's a crook. But for now we'll go and wander up to the house. And see what's going on up there. Look, cats. And we've not had much luck with cats.
Cute little putty tad. Actually, no. It was a mangy old flea bag. It was busily torturing a red ball.
That's a little bit of a nod to the first game, where you had to... there's a puzzle involving a red bouncy ball and a cat.
It was a sturdy, extendable ladder.
Can we mess around with it? Or are they going to stop us?
The ladder extended easily.
Well, we can go up there, but that's the wrong one. So...
It was an old house.
Right, and that's locked in it. So they're not going to let us go in. Just yet. Which is the name of the
It
game.
was locked.
The house is closed.
How come?
It is undergoing refurbishment.
Oh, of course. This must be the place Bronson's surveying.
The intention is to prepare the museum for the new century. The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum. It would look nice in neon.
A museum for a pirate? There was a stony silence.
Frederick Ketch was emphatically not a pirate. It's precisely this sort of vile misrepresentation that Mr. Bronson is seeking to rebalance.
Oh? How?
Mr. Bronson has kindly agreed to undertake the museum's refurbishment at a very reasonable price. He understands the importance of a sense of history.
Funny. That's not the impression I got of Bronson at all.
He also understands spherical geometry.
Mina?
Well, he does.
Listen, ma'am, I came a long way to visit this place.
If we make an exception in your case, everyone will want to get in.
Pardon me, but I didn't
That's
exactly
what she
have to
said.
fight my way through the crowds.
You're the second visitor we've had today.
No, I'm sorry, but it's impossible.
Ah, alright then. Right, well, there's no way going over there, so I suppose we'll have to talk to them. Can we talk to the cat?
Hi, Puss. Want to play? Hey, cat, watch where you're putting those claws.
He's not a cat person. He's George. I'd say I'm more of a dog person as well myself. Can we...
Two old ladies were sitting outside the house enjoying afternoon tea.
Yeah, those Brits love our tea. Let's
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stobart. Would you care for tea?
No, thank you, ma'am. I don't like tea.
What? That's it. We've fallen out, George. That is it meant to be a hook on his hand? Because it looks like he's holding a skull. That's why I was thinking. Is he going to talk to him about Shakespeare? Let's talk about the Moggy first.
Is that your cat?
Yes, it is.
That's Ruddles.
Do you like cats, Mr. Stobart?
Yeah, we love cats,
You
sure.
bet. Especially spit roast.
What? We don't want to know your unusual tastes, George. We'll leave that.
You're really fond of that cat, aren't you?
He is our companion and our solace.
I thought about catnapping the little monster until they let me in, but it wasn't my style. Maybe there was some other way I could use their affection for the cat to get me into the house.
Right, well, let's talk about
I've
the
been
boy
talking
first.
to Rio, the little fisher boy.
I'll thank you not to mention that little wretch in my presence.
Dirty little whelk. Nasty fishy boy.
That will do, Mina.
Sounds like Gollum.
I gather you don't have much time for the little boy.
That child is a delinquent, Mr. Stobart.
Yeah, well, he's only, what, 11, maybe?
A knave with one hand on the top.
That music just made me not hear what she said.
What is it
knave.
about Rio that you don't like, Miss Frost?
Well, once upon a time, he and Emily...
Be quiet this instant, Mina.
Who's Emily? Well, we'll ask about this
Can you
first.
tell me anything about Captain Ketch?
More than you can tell me about your great-great-great-great-grandfather, no doubt.
You're his descendants?
Certainly. Captain Ketch was born in Dorset, England, in the reign of King Henry VIII. His family were undistinguished farmers, but young Frederick Ketch decided to go to sea.
We have plenty of seamen in our family, Mr. Stobart.
Are you interested in history, Mr. Stobart?
I can make a joke about that, but I won't. Yes, we love
Yes,
history.
I am.
Well, what about this pirate?
Frederick Ketch sounds like he was a pirate to me.
As I have already told you, sir, he was not a pirate.
They hanged him, you know, down there on the beach in front of his family. Didn't bother with the trial, just whipped him out from his breakfast table and hoisted him up in chains.
Why did he do
Well,
that
if he
then?
wasn't a pirate, what did they hang him for?
Envy. Pure green-eyed envy. He had been a successful privateer, you see, and had accumulated great wealth.
As rich as a mink in a paddock.
Shut up, Mina.
Yes, Frost.
The small-minded governor and his lackeys wanted his money. Trumped up some ridiculous charge about breaking the conditions of his letter of marque. And hanged him like a common thief. The blackguards!
Letter of marque?
The document that permitted him to engage and destroy the enemies of the crown. The difference between a lawful privateer and a pirate.
Yoo-hoo!
Sorry, Frost.
Well, why didn't Ketch just say, take a hike, guys, I've got a pirating license?
Frederick Ketch was not a pirate.
But he did show them his letter of marque.
But they destroyed it and hanged him anyway.
You see that quite a lot. That was apparently the reason for the destruction of the Templars as well. They were featured in the first game because of their wealth. They were all burnt at the stake.
You were telling me about Captain Ketch. Do go on.
Oh, yes. He sailed under Hawkins.
Jim Hawkins?
John Hawkins, one of the great traders of the Elizabethan age. In 1568, Frederick Ketch was a young man serving aboard the Jesus, Hawkins' flagship. They sailed from England to Africa and across the wide Atlantic to these islands. Ketch was never to see the shores of England again.
So we're getting a bit of a history
How come
lesson, I
Ketch
suppose.
never made it home?
Because the Spaniards sank the Jesus in an act of treachery.
Okay.
You said Hawkins' fleet traded between Africa and the Indies. What was it they were trading?
Black men with no shirts.
You have to understand, Mr. Stobart, that this was the 16th century.
But that doesn't alter the fact that Hawkins and Ketch were slavers and pirates.
Would it surprise you to learn that Hawkins was also a devoutly religious man?
He transported slaves in a
Yep.
ship named after Jesus Christ. In my book, that makes him a hypocrite.
That's usually how the world works, though.
What happened to Ketch? Was he killed?
Oh no, he got away and returned to this island, to this very house.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum.
What was this
What
about?
can you tell
An
me about
Emily.
Emily?
Emily? What business can she be of yours?
Her parents were killed in a typhoon.
We, as her only living relatives, took it upon ourselves to raise the child.
It's good to know Charity isn't dead.
Oh, but she is. Washed overboard in the typhoon.
Mr. Stobart wasn't talking about Emily's mother. He was being sarcastic.
That's all you
What
can
else
tell
can you
us.
tell me about Emily?
How dare you pry into our family in this way? I refuse to answer any more of your impertinent questions.
Okay, it was time for diversionary tactics. I thought I saw a little girl down on the beach.
You must be mistaken.
He must be mistaken. Mustn't he, Frost?
I'm sure I'm not. A little girl and that young fisher boy.
What? It's not possible. What were they doing?
Oh, the kinds of things that all little boys and girls get up to at their age.
When I was a little girl, we used to play cows and milkmaids.
Woe betide you with
Better get down there quick then.
Heaven help you.
No, that's got rid of them too. Let's wait for the coast to be clear first.
With a creak of ancient corsetry, the sisters sailed majestically over the distant horizon.
Okay, that's one problem solved. And then we've still got the company of the cat as well. So we shan't be lonely. Well, on the next video we're going to be finding out how to break into this delightful building and find the secrets within. But that's for the next video. So I will see you guys later.